The Black Panther herself, Letitia Wright, reveals in an interview with Empire magazine that Marvel Studios originally planned to have two Black Panthers at the same time in the MCU, both taking part in different storylines and exploring different parts of the world. And for obvious reasons, those plans were scrapped. So let's talk about what the intention was. So this wasn't actually a direct question that was asked from Empire. It kind of evolved as the conversation started in regards to Letitia putting on the suit and taking over the mantle and what that was like, whether she was ready for it, and of course doubling back to before the film came out where she said that it was always the intent to eventually have her as the Black Panther. She said that it was a bittersweet moment to do this, but also it was a moment that she knows Chadwick would have been proud of, and as a brother to Shuri in the films, that T'Challa would have been proud as well. And she reveals that, like in the comic books, there were going to be two Black Panthers, and they were in the MCU going to both run alongside one another. And it was going to be the plot of defending the nation. And how does this involve the child of the Black Panther? What are the responsibilities of a father, and what are going to be her responsibilities? And she says that this is one of the things that you have to look at differently now because they don't get to explore that story. They have to take it in a completely different direction. So ultimately, what could have been, that's a big mystery that we'll never know. Now, I'm just going to speculate here, but think about it for a second. Shuri is part of the whole outreach program, and they were setting up outreach centers across the world that are based on Wakandan technology and Wakanda revealing themselves. I'm going to take a stab at the fact that she was probably going to be a more move around the planet type of Black Panther deal, where T'Challa was going to be mainly central to Wakanda, protecting it and raising his son. That way, you can tell both stories and both take you to different parts of the world. And certainly now we understand why they can't do that. Again, I'm speculating, but that's the only thing that makes sense, because they've never gone back to the whole outreach thing. And they said that very early on in the first Black Panther's development, they knew in the sequel, we're doing multiple Black Panthers and we're going down the kid route. So they clearly already were planning multiple of these things that had to be scrapped. So it's kind of interesting to just see how they were approaching this and what the ideas were. And I honestly like it. I think they had a good idea, but ultimately, I think they did the best what they could with the sequel, given all the circumstances and parameters they had to fight through.